I am just flabbergasted about this one, folks. I have been telling the story over the last 5 videos or so about a lot of the wrongdoing that Chris Lipe contributed to, including the ways that he deceived people like Ellie Dangor. And I've made some blog posts to go along with these recent videos. And I didn't even have any idea until literally this morning that over a month ago, WESPA had apparently sent a message to the director of the Hungary tournament, or the organizer of the Hungary tournament, Ferenc, that I had a lifetime ban from WESPA. And the way I found this out is kind of hysterical. So I've already booked my travel to Budapest, and believe me, I have no worries about whatever craziness WESPA is going to pull between now and then, and whether they claim I'm going to play in the tournament or not. It really matters zero to me. I mean, I do want to play in the tournament, obviously, but you got to be clear. I used frequent flyer miles to get there, and I got a really cheap Airbnb, and the whole thing, flight and accommodations together for 5 days in Budapest, is less than $500. So even if I didn't end up playing in the Scrabble tournament there, I would have a really cheap vacation to Budapest. No, nothing to be upset about at all. Not only that, but I am 100% sure, regardless of what WESPA does, I'm going to have a very nice sit-down dinner with Lukman Oalabi at some point on my trip there. And we're going to have a really good conversation about what needs to be in the WESPA Constitution after he becomes president, hopefully. And I think he's going to find that he loves my ideas, and we have a lot to talk about on that front. And what I want to talk to him about is not just about that constitution, but about what's going to be constitutional requirements for other WESPA member associations, and about how we get buy-in from those associations, why we're actually going to do this in a way that's going to get associations interested and want to take part in this process. It's going to be not just a stick, but a carrot. There's going to be some very nice things dangled out to the Scrabble Association to make this all worth their while. But that aside, I didn't want to put Ferenc in a position that was really awkward, and this Budapest tournament, as far as I understood, didn't require any advance registration. So I figured I was just going to show up on that Friday, the day the early bird is starting, with cash in hand, to play in both the early bird and the main event tournament. And believe me, I was about like 90% sure they're probably going to let me play. Now you might ask why, and the reason is because I'm actually a very popular and well-liked tournament player outside of North America. In Europe, in the UK, in Asia, I've been playing for a lot of years, Australia too, and like a bunch of people have met me and gotten along well and know that I'm a decent human being, and pretty much everybody who hates me is in North America. And it's all these North American organizations that are trying to ban me, but their shit is just not going to fly elsewhere. And part of the problem here is that this North American contingent has way too strong a stranglehold on WESPA, and it's these North American bullies who want to keep me out, maybe a few other people they've convinced to go along with them, people like Ellie Dangor, who granted he's no longer in office, but has clearly been brainwashed by some of the North Americans, might be teaming up with them a little bit. But once we get outside of that North American area, they're going to find that like people just don't take their bullshit seriously. And I figure I'm going to go probably play in this tournament. Worst case scenario, I get some casual games in. I get a good time to talk to the hopefully future president of WESPA. But like, I didn't want to put, Ferenc in this difficult situation of having to negotiate with WESPA ahead of time. But literally, he posted something on the Facebook group dedicated to the Budapest event saying that they were filling up the number of spots they had. And I figured I better write something to him and make clear that I am going to be there. I do want a spot at this tournament so that there is a spot for me in case they reach capacity. So I wrote to him literally yesterday, which was already late night, July 21st, going into the next morning, his time. He didn't see it till the next morning. I wrote, Ferenc, I'm coming to the event. My plan was to show up and enter both events on Friday with cash in hand for the entry fee to save you the trouble of having to deal with WESPA ahead of time. But if the event is going to fill up, I feel I must make it official now. And Ferenc wrote a very nice letter back. Hi Dave, I would love to see you, and I would be happy to play some friendly games with you before or after the tournament. I'm sure other stronger players in Budapest would too. but you won't be able to play in the tournament until WESPA lifts its ban or gives you an exception for this tournament. If they ask whether the organizer is willing to allow you to play, I will tell them that I do. There is still time. If you get WESPA to lift the ban by September 19th, then you will be welcome to participate in both events. Paying in cash on the day is fine. I will keep a place reserved for you, so if the ban is lifted, then you'll be able to play, but you need to solve your problem with WESPA first. Best wishes, Ferenc. So it's clear that he's not buying any of this hooey that is trying to make me out to be this monster that needs to be banned, but even saying he's going to save a spot for me. But I was a little confused about this because I'd gotten notification of a lifetime ban from both NASPA and COCO between June 3rd and June 13th this year, and I haven't actually heard anything from WESPA. So I asked him for a little bit of clarification, and Ferenc told me that Carol Johnson, the secretary of WESPA, had actually emailed him directly and told him that I had a lifetime ban from WESPA. But WESPA never told me. Like, what the heck are they doing now? Have they decided that they've seen how bad it made COCO and NASPA look, and that I'm just going to come and tell everyone how bad they're treating me, so they're going to try to, like, keep me from seeing the details? And literally the way this email is written, it's like, we're telling you as a director he's banned and to tell other directors too, but never spread the word to Dave, just talk about this behind his back. Did you not think I was going to eventually see this email? It's just totally ridiculous. So I'm putting the email in the description of this video. And the funniest thing about this to me is not only that they think they can get away with this shit, and they don't realize like hardly anybody is taking them seriously anymore, but that literally this email was sent from Carol to Ferenc on Sunday, June 15th, even though I didn't find out about it till the 22nd. But like really early in the morning, Hungarian time is when he got it. So it was like still June 14th in my time. And I looked back at my own postings, my own videos and stuff about this. And it turns out the last thing I had posted, I'm going to put a link to it in the description as well, before this ban actually happened behind my back, was a short little video in which I mentioned that my life is turning more and more into a Coen Brothers movie, that these people just keep making bigger mistakes and digging themselves in deeper. And it was literally right after I said that WESPA decided to go ahead and ban me and try to hide from me that they were banning me. So just the time stamps of those things, the timing, the way it all worked out is really, really funny. So Chris, I mean, it's funny because at the time you did this banning, this is before my last 4 YouTube videos and my last 2 blog postings. So the one starting with why Chris Light needs to be out of Scrabble leadership entirely, and then the one about how we have a rationality gap, and then the 2 that talked about Ellie Dangor, among other things, that all was in that in-between time where you already banned me. I didn't even know about it yet. And I think I started to make a really good case in those videos and in the ostracism and the gaslighting, both of which I released during that time as well, of what a unethical job you've been doing, Chris, as WESPA president, and how absurd this whole campaign is against me, and how you are breaking the law and possibly getting into legal trouble and might even be in a legal conspiracy. And I have a feeling that other people in that WESPA board who've got along with you and even like voted to do this ban at this point are probably shitting bricks. They're probably thinking, oh my God, I had no idea Chris was lying so much. I had no idea he was potentially in a criminal conspiracy or a civil conspiracy of some kind. And now I might be stuck in this too. Well, never fear, folks. It is not too late for you to come to your senses and bail out. Maybe some of you are as lost as Ellie Dangor is. Maybe you are just as evil as Chris is. But I have a feeling a bunch of you have been duped by him and will or have already come back to your senses and realized what complete horseshit this all is. And I want you to know that, like, it's not too late to get out of this and, you know, make the right apologies, make me whole the right way. But Chris, this is what's going to happen to you and anyone else who continues to stick to your guns in terms of being determined to keep me out of this Budapest tournament. Let's say you succeed. What's going to happen? I'm going to go to Budapest, and I'm going to be nothing but really pleasant and happy the whole time, and everybody's going to love me. And they're going to have a great time getting along with me, and instead of being able to focus on playing Scrabble against them, I'll probably get in a few casual games here or there, I will just, in a very charming, nice way, keep talking to them about what's happened and let them see the story of how evil you have become. And all that's going to happen is they're going to get to like me more. My political profile in the Scrabble world is going to increase, and yours is going to decrease even more on account of the fact that you freed me up to work on being nice to people and, playing the political game instead of focusing on my Scrabble while I'm there. And you know what? I think there's still a very good chance that I'm going to go and play in this tournament because I think there's enough other people in that WESPA board who are going to realize they made a big mistake in siding with you on this and they need to back out now before they can get themselves in legal trouble. But even if they don't, what do you do if the people in Budapest just decide, hey, you know what? We're going to play this tournament with Dave anyway and then just submit the ratings to WESPA and see what happens? Because really, if that happens, what's WESPA going to do? You're going to refuse to rate the tournament or rate the games with me in it? It doesn't even matter. Because literally, 2 months after that, we're going to have a new WESPA president who's going to make me whole, who's going to end this whole charade, who's going to make sure that tournament gets rated, who's going to make sure that there is actual justice and logic and professionalism in Scrabble, hopefully. So, if you think you can keep getting away with this, you're just fooling yourselves. You're just digging yourselves in deeper. And Chris, you and anyone else who continues to stick to your guns, who's not willing to back down and start apologizing to me and start making me whole, you know what's going to happen? I'm going to make sure that once you're out of power, not only are we going to get as many good people into WESPA as possible who are not part of this whole charade, I'm going to make sure that the people who continue to stick to their guns and don't apologize and don't admit wrongdoing are banned for twice as many games and twice as many world championships as I miss. So, I highly recommend you start letting me get into tournaments sooner so that you don't get a bigger punishment for yourselves.